Welcome back to Soda City Live. I'm Madeline Stewart. We love animals here at WIS, and we want to share that love with you and our furry friends here in the Midlands. The largest annual statewide dog and cat adoption event in the country kicks off this weekend, and that means that you can help save one of thousands of animals with deals at the local shelters. Joining us today is a representative from one of the participating shelters, City of Columbia Animal Services. Brandon Fancy has the details on this amazing opportunity. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
So I understand you've brought a little friend with you. Tell us about who this is.
I brought Kimberly. She's 3 years old. She came into our shelter about a month and a half ago. She's been doing great. She's spayed, up to date on her vaccines, and ready to go home.
Amazing. So I understand you've got some great deals coming up through Pick Me SC.
Yes, so Pick Me SC, as you stated, is a statewide event. We have tons of really great deals all across the Midlands, upstates, and across the state. We are currently doing free adoptions.
Wow.
So every animal that you get from us will be free. They're spayed, neutered, up to date on their vaccines, and ready to go.
They're good to go, and just like Kimberly too.
Just like Kimberly, microchipped as well, so if they ever go missing, they can find their way home much quicker.
Yes, ready to find their forever home for sure. And I understand South Carolina really does it big. So we've got a lot of organizations across the state participating. Do you know just how many?
Yes, so we have over 90 participants. This is the biggest that we've had. I think last time we had about 50, so we've really hit a good mark here. This is our Petcos as well as shelters and rescues.
Yes, and we're going to pull up some of those details a little bit later. But I do want to talk about just the importance of pet adoption, especially during the summer. Why this time of year?
Yeah, so I mean, during the summer, we see a huge influx of animals, both cats with kitten season. They're having their babies because they're not fixed. And then of course dogs. People are bringing them in the boatloads because it's hot, they're walking around. Of course there's sometimes medical issues with the summer heat. And so they come in big batches.
Yeah, any trends you're seeing lately, or just an influx of dogs and cats?
Yeah, so the community is bringing in more animals. And so we look to the community for these efforts. To take care of these animals, and sometimes we'll offer, foster until they can maybe find their original home. They don't necessarily have to come to the shelter to find their home. Right,
and just the amazing thing overall when we talk about adoption events like Pick Me SC is you got to think about it, you're saving a life.
Yes, I mean, we are over capacity here at Columbia, but I mean, this is statewide across the United States, across the world. We have too many animals, and we don't have the facilities to make up for it.
Right.
And so with these large influx, we have to find new ways to allow them to find homes. So that's why we do our foster programs. We have our adoption ambassador programs, but more importantly, we have adoptions.
Yes, and for those who are maybe looking at getting their first dog or cat, coming into the shelter, they're going to have a lot of help through that process. How should they prepare to come in and look and see who they might take home with them?
Yeah, I mean, first know what kind of home you have. Do you have kids in the home? Will you have kids in the home? Cousins, otherwise? Do you have cats, dogs? These are all really important things that you need to know before you go to the shelter, because you might see someone that you really like, but if they're not going to be cat friendly, then maybe let's look at somebody else. For us, we only require that you have a valid ID. We don't specify where you're from, because we just want this dog to find a good home. And so you just need an ID, and our assistants will help you find a good home.
Amazing. And what is that experience like when someone comes to the shelter?
Yeah, I mean, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming for us with the amount of animals that we have, but more so if you're first time coming in, it can be a lot. There's a lot of dogs, it can be loud, and there's, of course, lots of cats. So it's really just taking into perspective what kind of environment they're in. And so they also might need an adjustment period. We follow the 333 rule to make sure that they can go into that home, decompress, and find a really great home.
Yeah, what is that 333 rule?
Yeah, so you specify by 3 days, 3 weeks, and 3 months. And these are just kind of the periods in which that animal will be experiencing different things. So in 3 days, that's their first decompression. So they're kind of getting out of that shelter environment. 3 weeks is when you can see them getting comfortable. And then of course, 3 months, they should be set in their home.
Amazing, yeah, and it is important to kind of underline that it's not all going to be immediate. As soon as you take a new pet home, you're changing their life for the better eventually, but it's going to take that adjustment period while they kind of get oriented in a new situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, because like with Kimberly, she came in as a stray. She was a mother at some point, and so we have no idea what kind of past that she had. You know, we can work with her all we want here, but we don't understand where she came from and where she could go. So it is all about learning their behaviors, why they're doing what they're doing.
And for someone who wants to kind of test out and see what an animal's personality is like, does your staff have a good understanding of each animal and
what I'll say is our volunteers are amazing.
Volunteers,
we have a great volunteer program that takes animals out, gets great pictures of them, creates bios. It really gets a full picture of that animal. And of course you can take the animal out, spend time with them, and we require it. You spend time with that animal because we want you to know that this is a good animal for me, not just that it's pretty, you know. But no, we have a great volunteer program, and so they have a Facebook page called Pets of Cass, where they create all the great bios for these animals. And so if you really want to know more about an animal, check out Pets of Cass.
That's great. Yeah, great tip there. And also just, you know, going out and spending time with an animal, maybe playing with them a little bit, seeing how they react to different things. Always a good idea, right?
Yeah. Before I took Kimberly, I took her around the block,
really?
see how she was introducing to everybody, and she's very friendly.
Yes.
And as I told you, she's curious.
Yes.
She wants to know everything about everyone, their smell, their face, everything. She's a very curious dog.
I love that, and just so sweet and so well behaved too. Curious but not hyperactive, I would say.
No, she knows when to play and when to kind of chill out and be mellow. You take her out into a yard and she'll show you her personality. Yes,
sounds like the perfect dog, and she is so ready to find her perfect home. So let's pull up the details. Pick Me SC is happening statewide July 20th through the 28th. There's free or low fee adoptions across the state. Of course, whichever shelter or organization you go to, the staff there is going to help you out. Whether you've had pets before, never had them before, they're going to make sure you find your perfect best friend to take home forever. So visit pickmesc.org. And of course, I do want to point out some local participants here in the Midlands. This is not all of them, so definitely go on the website. But City of Columbia Animal Shelter, of course, is participating. In Leesville, For the Love of Street Dogs Shelter is participating. Several Petco's in the area, Cat Around Town Project in Camden, and Palmetto Lifeline participating as well. Brandon, thank you so much for being here, and Kimberly too.
Yeah, she's a great participant.
Yes, well, we'll be right back here on Soda City Live.